Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, devotees, for joining online and in person. I seek blessings from all the devotees, especially His Grace Vijay Prabhu, so that I can speak following the mode of our Guru Parampara. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, Text number 15. 1:19:15. Please repeat after me. Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra.
Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra.
Ganga cha devi dhritachittamishe.
Ganga cha devi dhritachittamishe.
Dvijopasrishta kuhakastakshako va.
Dvijopasrishta kuhakastakshako va.
Dashatvalam gayata Vishnu gatha.
Dashatvalam gayata Vishnu gatha.
Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra.
Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra.
Ganga cha devi dhritachittamishe.
Ganga cha devi dhritachittamishe.
Dvijopasrishta kuhakastakshako va.
Dvijopasrishta kuhakastaksho va.
Dashatvalam gayata Vishnu gatha.
Dashatvalam gayata Vishnu gatha.
Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra.
Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra.
Ganga cha devi dhritachittamishe.
Ganga cha devi dhritachittamishe.
Dvijopasrishta kuhakastakshako va.
Dvijopasrishta kuhakastakshako va.
Dashatvalam gayata Vishnu gatha.
Dashatvalam gayata Vishnu gatha.
One chant. Online.
Tamohapata Tamopayatam pradayantu vipra.
Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra.
Ganga cha devi drutachittamishe.
Ganga cha devi dhritachitamishe.
Vijoparishta kuhakastapsakuva.
Vijopasrishta kuhakasta chakshakova.
Sadvalam ghayata vishnugata.
Dashatvalam gayata vishnugata.
Word for word translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Tam. For that reason. Ma. Me. Upayatam. Taken shelter of. Pratiyantu. Just accept me. Vipra. O Brahmanas. Ganga. Mother Ganges. Cha. Also. Devi. Direct representative of the Lord. Dhrita. Taken into. Chittam. Heart. Ishe. Unto the Lord. Dvijopasrishta. Created by the Brahmana. Kuhaka. Something magical. Takshaka. The snake bird. Va. Either. Dashatu. Let it bite. Alam. Without further delay. Gayata. Please go on singing. Vishnugatha. Narration of the deeds of Vishnu. Translation. O Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul, and let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. Purport. As soon as one is given up completely unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, he is not at all afraid of death. The atmosphere created by the presence of great devotees of the Lord on the bank of the Ganges and Maharaj Parikshit's complete acceptance of the Lord's lotus feet were sufficient guarantee to the king for going back to Godhead. He thus became absolutely free from all fear of death. Om Abhyamitimirandasya Dhyananjana Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is a pivotal verse. This is a very important verse. I have read this in Shloka book of Srila Prabhupada's most quoted verses also. So I was thinking that this verse is just like in Bhagavad Gita when Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight and Arjuna is not able to understand what is his duty and he surrenders. Shishyas ham shadi mam tvam prapannam. I'm not able to understand or make sense of this situation with my limited intelligence. So I am surrendering myself you please become my teacher, and now I'm your student. We are no longer friends, and please guide me. What is my duty? So, in the similar sense here, um, Maharaj Parikshit, he's offering himself, he's surrendering himself to the Brahmanas and to the representative of the Lord, Mother Ganges. And he does not want to do anything out of his own plan. He just wants to accept the plan of the Lord, and he simply wants to hear the glories of the Lord, simply wants to hear the deeds of Lord Vishnu. And in that way, he is completely free from the fear of death. Similarly, when Arjuna heard the message of Bhagavad Gita, he became completely free of the fear of impending death of his relatives or his own self. So we can understand from this verse how to develop that mood of surrender and submissiveness to accept the message of the Lord and to accept the plan of the Lord. I was also thinking that although Maharaj Parikshit was present in the assembly of so many great sages, there was Narad Muni, there's Vyasdev himself, Shukdev Goswami was sitting, presiding the assembly. He did not fail to notice the presence of Mother Ganges. So Krishna in chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita, he explains the opulence, his different opulences by which he is present. And he says, Srotasam Asmi Jahnavi, that out of all the flowing rivers, I am Mother Ganges. So a devotee of the Lord, he sees Krishna everywhere. So Krishna, how can we see Krishna in the world? So Krishna has explained that in chapter 10. It's called Vibhuti Yoga. How we can see Krishna everywhere. So Maharaj Parikshit is not seeing Mother Ganges, just a river. He is seeing Krishna himself is present in the form of Mother Ganges. So Prabhupada translates Devi as the direct representative of the Lord. So a person who has realized knowledge, for him everything and every moment represents Krishna. And we can imbibe that mood by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So the different qualifications to learn spiritual wisdom, they are given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita chapter 13 from text 8 through 11, where he gives 20 items of knowledge. Who is a person in knowledge? These are the different qualities of a person in knowledge. So the first quality is humility. Amanitvam adhambitvam. And Prabhupada gives a beautiful meaning of that quality. He expounds on every quality in the purport. The quality of humility means to be free from the desire for receiving honor. So Prabhupada says that, Srila Prabhupada says in this purport 13:8 through 11, he says that by the material world's situation, everybody wants to be honored. Everybody wants to be praised. But a person who is in knowledge, he does not seek such honor because that honor is for the body. And a person in knowledge, he does not identify himself with the body. So honor and dishonor, wealth or poverty, happiness or distress, all of them are relating to that bodily conception of life. So that person does not identify with such things. So such a person can become humble, or a humble person can understand this. So both ways. And he can actually appreciate Lord's plan. He can see Lord's plan in his life and he can accept it and proceed from there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told us in Shikshashtakam, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorivasa Hishunna. One has to be humbler than a blade of grass and tolerant than a blade of tree. How does one become humble? How does one have this quality of humility? Prabhupada says, and many other teachers also say, Humility means to understand who am I really, in truth. I'm an insignificant part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. When we understand this in reality, then we won't have any reason to become proud. As His Grace Vijay Prabhu was mentioning the other day, how we can get free from pride. He sent me that shloka, that verse also. I would like to read that translation. Yeah. Prabhu sent. Thank you, Vijay Prabhu, for sending me that shloka. This is from Brihad Bhagavatamrita 2.3.142, spoken by Narad Muni. But great devotees fixed in devotional service do not think the services they do to be actions under their own control, but expressions of the Lord's supreme mercy. So they are situated in reality. In the previous two verses in this particular chapter, so Maharaj Parikshit is expressing what is his real position. So the first verse that he spoke, he said, indeed, we are the most grateful of all the kings who are trained to get favors from the great souls. Generally, you, the sages, consider royalty as refuge to be rejected and left in a distant place. So he does not mind being a king, being a lowly person in compared to the Brahmanas. He understands that is the position of the Kshatriyas because they are in the mood of enjoying this world, mood of passion. So such a person does not deny, he actually accepts that I am in a lower position. So here Parikshit Maharaj accepted that I am in a lower position, I am a Kshatriya, I like to enjoy, I like to be in the mood of king, I like to maintain family, wealth, subordinates, army, careers. And such a position is illusion because it's temporary. Any point of time it can be taken away. And he accepts his position to be lower than the Brahmanas. That is humility, to accept it. Many times in purports, in Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada says low born. Shudras are low born, abominable. They have abominable habits. They eat anything, do anything, they enjoy sex life with anybody. So that is because Prabhupada is telling the truth. It is the duty of an acharya to distinguish reality from illusion for the welfare of all. So many people, they cannot take it. They say, oh, why Prabhupada is so harsh? Why is he telling all these words, rascal and abusive words? He can be a little soft while he's teaching. But a person who has to cure the disease, a surgeon, he has to use the knife and he has to cut the disease part. So similarly, an acharya, he has to cut the disease of the conditioned living entity. So here we see Parikshit Maharaj understands this and appreciates this. In the next verse, he says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of both the transcendental and mundane worlds, has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. So this understanding can come to a person who is a submissive. There was a class that we were listening the other day. Some person asked, I think S.B. Keshav Swami, what is the meaning of being surrendered? What is the meaning to take shelter? He said that and Maharaj answered that one must not resist. One should not resist. One should be able to accept the order of the Lord or accept the order of the Guru or the teacher. So this is the quality of a person who can appreciate this knowledge, who can understand this knowledge. So that's why Suta Goswami was glorified by the sages in Naimisharanya. They said that you are the most submissive one and you are the most gentle. That's why you are able to understand the conclusion of all the scriptures. And now please being endowed with many, many years, please tell us the essence of all the scriptures. You have understood it from your teachers. So that is the quality for receiving spiritual knowledge. Humility, pridelessness. In the same purport 13.8 through 11, Prabhupada in the first paragraph he says, the most important quality is to take shelter of, to have ananya bhakti towards Krishna, unalloyed devotion to Krishna. That is the most important quality in 20 items of knowledge. And in order to do that, one must take shelter of a guru, of a bona fide spiritual master. So, what is the symptoms of a person who has that quality? Prabhupada says that person who is a devotee, he is a yes man. You know, just like we see Adinath Krishna Prabhu. Whatever service we request, Prabhu, yes, yes, yes. Where he wakes up early, he chants more rounds than anybody else. And he's ready to go on service, loading the books, unloading the books, distributing the books, cooking, cleaning, everywhere. We see Adinath Krishna Prabhu. He's a yes man, whatever service we request him. Your wish is my command. Whatever is your plan is my plan. So this is the service of a soldier on a battalion in army. Whatever command the general gives or the sergeant gives, so he is ready to execute without any holding back. Such a person can receive the complete mercy of the Lord. I also listened one talk, Japa talk by His Grace Radhesham Prabhu, in which he explains the quality great devotees. So he gives an acronym called GREAT. That is from verse 10:14:8. Tatte anukampam susumikshimano bhunjan evatma kritam vipakam ridbag vapurbhir vidyan namaste jivet yo mukti pade sadhai bhag. So this is in prayers of Lord Brahma to Krishna, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Text 8. Translation: My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds, and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. So, G means gratitude. Such a person is grateful for whatever he has in his life. So in this case, we see Parikshit Maharaj is very grateful for all the sages to be here, to be present at the end of his life. He is very grateful for the curse, for the Brahmana's curse, because he's saying the Lord has overtaken me in the form of Brahmana's curse, so that I can detach myself from the worldly affairs. Otherwise, I would not have done so. So G means gratitude and R means respect. He's very respectful. With folded hands, he's offering respects to all the sages and requesting them to please accept him as a surrendered soul. E means eagerness or enthusiasm. He's very eager to listen to the glories of Lord Vishnu. And A is attitude. His attitude towards this curse. He is saying that I deserve much more, but the Lord has given me a token. That is the attitude of a devotee. When he receives difficulty, he says, I deserve much more. I have done so many sinful activities in my past lives, in this life, but the Lord has only given me a token. And T is tolerate. So yesterday, as Bhikeshwar Maharaj was saying, tolerance is the first instruction, first major instruction by Krishna to Arjun. In this world, we can never make solution to any situation. All the solutions are either temporary or artificial. They cannot permanently fix our situation. So the best thing is to tolerate, simply tolerate. Such a person becomes eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. So in the purport, Prabhupada is saying the presence of all the great sages and Maharaj Parikshit's acceptance of the Lord's lotus feet into his heart is guarantees his going back home, back to Godhead. So we can see that he's a great devotee. He's following all the 5 qualities given in 10:14a, Maharaj Parikshit. Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shreyuttamam. So this is a conversation in 11th Canto, Chapter 3, text 18 through 21, where one of the 9 Yogendras, they are giving instructions to Maharaj Nimi. So I was thinking it will be nice we can read this 11:3, 18 through 21. Liberation from the illusory energy. This is the chapter 11:3, 18. Sri Prabhupada said, accepting the roles of male and female in human society, the conditioned souls unite in sexual relationships. Thus, they constantly make material endeavors to eliminate their unhappiness and unlimitedly increase their pleasure. But one should see that they inevitably achieve exactly the opposite result. In other words, their happiness inevitably vanishes, and as they grow older, their material discomfort increases. So, we can see in the material world, there are so many people into relationships, and they have good time in the beginning, and then the relationships turn sour after some time because they are based on bodily pleasures. Male is looking towards female that she will give me pleasure, and female is looking towards male that he will give her pleasure in the form of sex, in the form of material amenities. But as long as my desires are being fulfilled, I feel happy. I can reciprocate. But when there is a mismatch of my expectations from that person, then there is sourness, and then the relationships go bad and then broken eventually. I was listening to Prabhupada yesterday. He was saying that every living entity is a Prakriti. She is meant to be enjoyed by the Lord. So everybody is a female. But everyone is acting as a male. The male is acting as a male because he wants to enjoy the female, and the female is also acting as a male, Purusha. That's why in the scriptures the word is used pumsam. They always use he, the conditioned living entity, because even the so-called female is in the mood of a male. They also want to enjoy. So it's not that when Shastras are chastising male, they are only chastising males, they are also chastising females, because it's a tendency to enjoy this material world. And when they say that female is meant to give enjoyment to the male, they're not only referring to females, but they are also referring to the males, because for the Lord, even the males are females. They are also Prakriti. So Prabhupada is criticizing everyone equally. And he is also appreciating everybody equally, that everybody has the capacity to give enjoyment and pleasure to the Lord. So there are so many genders now because of the so-called pride movement. But our answer is the same. It's the tendency to enjoy the material world separate from Krishna. That is the problem, no matter what gender you are in. Whenever one turns his face towards the Lord in the mood of service, that person can be free from the miseries of this world. That is the real solution, not creating so many artificial situations to enjoy in this world. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is telling this. And then he's saying, wealth is a perpetual source of distress. It is most difficult to acquire, and it is virtual death for the soul. What satisfaction does one actually gain from his wealth? Similarly, how can one gain ultimate or permanent happiness from one's so-called home children, relatives, and domestic animals, which are all maintained by one's hard earned money. So, the more we acquire in this world, the more we become anxious to protect it. So, we were distributing books yesterday in the downtown of Long Beach. There were big stores, you know, higher class people, they pay more money for getting the same bread, maybe even less amount, but in more money for a salad. But they cannot give few dollars for a book because they are actually so protective and they are thinking, oh, this person is here to cheat me. Even these so-called people who are dressed as monks, they might cheat me. So they don't want to give their card, they might give few coins. On the other hand, if we go to a lower middle class places, people are more open to give money. They are ready to swipe their cards, give Venmo, and so on. So as we acquire more wealth, actually we become more and more miserable. We enter the 99 club. Everybody is trying. A millionaire is trying to be a billionaire. A billionaire is trying to be a trillionaire. So he becomes more and more attached to his so-called possessions, and actually is entering in a spiral of miseries. Next is, one cannot find permanent happiness even on the heavenly planets, which one can attain in the next life by ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices. Even in material heaven, the living entity is disturbed by rivalry with his equals and envy of those superior to him. And since one's residence in heaven is finished with the exhaustion of pious fruitive activities, the denizens of heaven are afflicted by fear, anticipating the destruction of their heavenly life. Thus they resemble kings who, though enviously admired by ordinary citizens, are constantly harassed by enemy kings and who therefore never attain actual happiness. Even if a person is situated as the top in his field, but still there are so many people envious of him, he cannot have real happiness in his field. We see this even in heavenly planets. Indra, whenever he sees some sage practicing austerities, he becomes afraid of his situation that this person may take over my throne. And then he tries to send different apsaras so for the sage to stop his austerities. So we can see that even in heavenly planets there is envy. What to speak of the material world? What to speak of the earthly planet? Then he concludes in the next text, 11:3 to 21. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jignasu shreya uttamam shabde pare cha nishnatam brahmani upasamashriyam. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. So, if you want real happiness, Shreya Uttamam, there's Preya and there's Shreya. Preya means short term happiness, and Shreya means long term happiness. So, Uttamam, the best. If you want Shreya Uttamam, then one must surrender to a spiritual master who has himself understood the conclusions of the scriptures by personal application and by hearing from another bona fide spiritual master. Such a person we should take shelter of and then listen about Krishna. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Macchitta mattata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathyantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. That devotees of my dear devotees, they are always discussing about me. Macchitta mattata prana. Their lives are completely devoted to me. They are always thinking about me. Kathyantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They are always discussing about me, and this way they derive satisfaction by always discussing about me. So that's why Parikshit Maharaj is only saying, please keep on speaking about the deeds of Lord Vishnu. He's saying Vishnu Gatha. that please keep on narrating the pastimes of Lord Vishnu. I don't want anything. So such a person becomes completely free from the fear of death. In Canto 1, Chapter 1, there is a verse about this, text 14. Apanna samsritim ghoram yannama vivasho ghrinan tata sadhyo vimucheta yad viveti swayam bhayam. Living entities who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can immediately free themselves by even unconsciously chanting the holy names of the Lord, who is feared by fear personified. So, if we remember the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna, we can become free from the fear of death, which is the ultimate fear for anybody in this material world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you for listening to me. Whatever I could share from my limited understanding, I am open for any corrections. I like to be corrected. And any questions can be challenged. Anything online, Prabhu? Yes.
Prabhu, you were mentioning about you're comparing how Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, and then you drew a parallel between
Yes.
how Parikshit Maharaj is surrendering to circumstances.
Yeah.
You touched upon one of the points saying that not holding back is a form of surrender, but that is one way to look at it. Can you explain a little more on how that surrender can come about, Prabhu? So one way is not holding back, but what do you mean by giving everything to the Lord? So
What do I mean by giving everything to the Lord?
yeah.
What do I mean by
No, what I'm trying to say is there may be some circumstances where we should not give up everything, and in this case, Parikshit Maharaj chose to give up everything. How do we identify which is which?
Balance.
Yeah. Yes.
Prabhu say?
Balance.
Balance. Yeah. So my understanding is true. That's why we said this verse of Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shreuttamam Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashanam. We need to have a spiritual master. We need to have a mentor who can help us to understand in what situation we are, whether we should surrender or we should fight. So here Krishna told Arjuna to fight.
Yes.
So he's fought. That's why. But in this case, Parikshit Maharaj completely surrendered. He did not retaliate. So he asked this question from the sages. I am planning to fast until death. Please tell me, is this right thing to do? So he's taking guidance. So similarly, we can take guidance from our spiritual teachers.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Suvarni.
I have a question about how to become great.
How to become great?
Yes. So it says G as grateful, R as respectful, E as eager,
Yes.
A as attitude, and then what is T?
Tolerance. Yes, he's ready to talk.
Uhakam.
So,
And what is 99 Club?
Club 99 is that if I have $99, I want to have 100. And so I have just one more remaining to get 100. Similarly, if I have 99,999, I will have one more dollar for 100,000. So I don't want to give up anything from my account. You know, we went to so many stores yesterday, they can't give few dollars because they have that club. You know, I have just few more dollars to touch 100,000 or 1 million or 10 million. So they are just trying to save everything, whatever possible, even at the cost of their own health. So I think you said this once too. And yeah.
I'm thinking about rich people not ready to give. It may not be just that they are miserly. Most probably something is there. But they don't trust that it's gonna be used properly. They're not convinced, or at least at that moment, they're not convinced. They doubt whether these people are real or cheating. So that similar situation, which is described in pastimes of Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur going door to door. Also, people would accuse them of you're going door to door just to see what's in the houses so you can steal. Most probably you are thieves and stuff like that. So yeah, it may not be. I'm just trying to think objectively about why people are. Obviously, our presentation can be adjusted. That's one side. Another side, it could be that they are miserly, they're not ready. And it could be that they also have their own intelligent explanation, why should I give money? Money is valuable energy. And I'm not sure if these people are proper. So I just choose not to give anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's kind of smart way to say no. But in any case, yeah. Chanakya Pandit says also that if you want to please a fool, make him laugh. Just make him laugh. It'll be you can conquer his heart. And to a miser, you can give a gift. So
You can give a gift.
So I think we are in a very good position. That we already have sponsored Bhagavad Gita's, I think we can try starting melting their hearts by giving, even if they don't want to give. Of course, if they are not ready to take it, we respect that. But
this is very good to learn.
Yeah.
Make people laugh. And Guru Maharaj says make them feel special because they are special. So everybody is looking for that. Thank you. Can stop here.